Hello ladies and gentiles, my name is Erzban and I bring you the gaming news every week here on YTLife, 3 to 4 of the more important stories that I feel are prevalent in the gaming industry. So let's go ahead and get right into the news, but small disclaimer, everything I talk about will have a link in the description to the article that I'm using here, so you can read it and make your own opinions on what I'm talking about. Alright, let's get right into the news. So first up in the news, we have an article from IGN talking about how Far Cry Primal was announced to a 2016 release date. Really? This early? Alright, let's move on. So the announcement article that I have here basically went on to say how this is Ubisoft Montreal's next Far Cry game, and it's a Stone Age era open world game called Far Cry Primal. Trying to be epic, I probably failed poorly, but moving on. It launches on the PS4 and Xbox One on February 23rd, 2016 and March 2016 for the PC. Not a real noticeable gap, but it is a gap. Anyway, the game's set in 10,000 BC and you play as the last surviving member of your hunting tribe and you basically have to conquer the Stone Age world. And you do this by mastering fire, hunting for food, fending off fierce predators, and facing off against other tribes to conquer the Uros, which is their area that they've created for this game. You know how like each Far Cry game is set in its own fictional area within a different region of the world? That's what they're doing for the Uros here. So now, my personal opinion on this announcement, I think it's a really cool concept. I love the Stone Age idea and how they want to run with that, and I think it can be a really good thing for the franchise. What makes me worried is that this is basically going to be the fastest of Far Cry games come out for the franchise. Now, from what I've seen, this doesn't look like a small little add-on game like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was, because it doesn't have 4 anywhere in the name. So I'm worried about this fatiguing the franchise to death, because Far Cry 4 is only going to be a little bit over a year old by the time this comes out. So, I'm really excited for the concept, but I'm worried about franchise fatigue. Now, the next article here is talking about Darksiders 2 finally getting a definitive edition release on October 27th. Now, the article I have here about this basically is saying that they finally have a release date, which is October 27th, and it's going to hit for $30, and comes with all the game's DLC and runs at native 1080p. So, here's my personal opinion about this. I don't hate this particular remaster, and I don't really have a reason to. I didn't play Darksiders 2, I don't have an opinion on it. I have more of a problem with the remaster train in general, which started near the end of the 7th generation and has gone full-blown into this generation. Because I would rather developers work on new games rather than just updating their older ones to play on the new consoles. That's just my personal opinion. Now, I don't hate all remastered. Certain ones I get, like if you have an anniversary of a game, or if it's a really old game, or if you're trying to continue the franchise, I get that. But certain ones, like the Sleeping Dogs remastered, God of War 3 remastered, and a few others, I really don't see a point for them, and it was basically like, hey, just bring it to the new console so we can make more money off of it. So, I'm going to say that we shouldn't buy remasters just so we can stop this remaster train from happening, because we're literally getting just as many remaster announcements as we are new games at this point. And I'm kind of tired of it. But as far as this one's concerned, it's way more fair than I've seen for a lot of others. Because they're only asking you for $30, most of them want $40 to $50 depending on the game. So this one seems like one of the better ones, and it doesn't seem like that bad, but I just have a problem with the remaster train in general. So now the last little bit of news that I have for this week is that Steam's coming to retail stores with dedicated space at GameStop, EB Games, and Game UK. Now this article went on to say how Valve's pushing to bring PC gaming to the living room with the Steam machine, and how they're going to do this even more with GameStop, EB Games, and Game UK as exclusive non-digital retailers, meaning that they're going to sell Steam machines, Steam controller, and Steam Link streaming devices at those stores exclusively. Now I think that this is really interesting that they're actually bringing hardware into the mainstream gaming retail space. Now, is this going to work? I don't know, because it was really fucking confusing with how they actually did this Steam Machines market model. Like, I'll actually leave a link in the description to the website where you can look at the different models. But yeah, if you actually go onto the Steam Machines website and actually look at the different prices, the lowest one's like $449 all the way up to like $5,000. and then you have a whole bunch of other models anywhere in between that. So honestly, I think they really dropped the ball letting all of these companies just make basic Steam machines, because it's creating a lot more consumer confusion and you don't know which one to buy. Do you buy the cheapest one? Do you buy the most expensive one? Do you buy a mid-priced one? Do you buy this brand? It's just making way too many questions for the mainstream market, and they're going to fail at the living room if they don't clear this up. Do I think the Steam machines could work? Yes, I'm willing to give them that benefit of the doubt, but it's kind of confusing how they've done the price model, and it's going to be really interesting to see how it does.